Hi, Jean-Claude. How are you?
Hello, hello. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Good to have you back again.
Yes, same here. How's the mountain? You still enjoying? I can't see the
Yeah.
snow behind anymore.
No, there is no snow anymore on the trees because
Okay.
we had a lot of sun. But snow will come in 2 days again.
Oh, nice. So you can
Yeah,
carry on skiing again.
yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. How are things? Everything is okay? All good?
Everything is okay. Yes, yes, yes. I
Perfect.
managed to get
Yeah, to get a
to connect.
connection. Yeah, everything is working.
I'm not
Fantastic.
an expert in connections, but I got
Oh,
it
but
now.
I always say that's why we love mechanics. No, Jean-Claude is something you can rely on.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, Jacob, do you fancy next time to try to do it on Clubhouse as well at the same time? We can try next time in 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it on Clubhouse. I was in Clubhouse now for 1 hour.
Yeah, yeah, nice, nice. It's an interesting platform. So, Jean-Claude, we are the disruptors now, so nobody's gonna take that title away surely from you, because I still have a lot to disrupt to fully deserve this title. But Um, tell me, today we're going to talk about respect. Respect is something that in your life, when you talk, is something that you really pinpoint as a very, very important element. And today we would like to discuss the value of respect in watchmaking, in entrepreneurship to be successful, and in life in general. But tell me, how can you be respectful, full of respect when you are a disruptor?
To be a disruptor means that you try to be contrarian. You try to follow Confucius, who said you must be first, different, unique. If you are first, different, unique, you are somehow disruptive. The first, or the guy who is unique, or the guy who is different, is per definition disrupting. If you are disruptive, you follow Confucius, who said only the dead fish swims in the river in the direction and in the speed of the current. The fish that is alive goes against the current, or he goes right of the current or left of the current. And eventually, if he goes in the direction of the current, he goes 3 times faster. So, if you are not
And
a dead fish,
if the river is frozen, he has the ability of go underwater and avoid the obstacle.
exactly, exactly. So you see, to be disruptive means to be different, means to be contrarian, means to be different, and that has nothing to do with respect. To be different, to the respect is an ethical behavior, and your ethics or your moral behavior can be the same if you are contrarian or if you are not contrarian. Look, when we launched Blancpain, 1981, end of 81, the whole world was, the Swiss watch industry was talking quartz, quartz, quartz. That's the solution. That's our future. And the watch called Swatch, had a lot of success, and everybody believed that's what we have to do. People were queuing up to buy Swatch watches. Agnelli had a Swatch watch on the wrist, something we had never believed.
Oh, on the cuff, on the cuff, as
Exactly,
we used to do, yeah.
over it, exactly.
Yeah.
So you see, when and we said, since 1735, there's never been a Blancpain quartz watch, and there will never be one. That is totally disruptive, but it's extraordinarily respectful. It's not because you are disruptive that you lose respect. So the two elements have nothing to do. So to answer your question, you can be disruptive and honest. Disruptive doesn't mean that you are cheating, doesn't mean that you are boom, 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 that you are, it has nothing to do.
In watchmaking, it's a perfect example. We are living a new quartz, crisis, which is not a crisis in the end, because those makers, mechanical watchmakers that have understood the power of smart technology, the smartwatches, and all of that, and they just live with it as a completely different thing to it, they have thrived regardless of the smartwatch. So respecting what is happening on the digital technology is also a way to find peace with your own mission when you propose mechanical technology. Am I wrong in this?
Yes, of course. And you know, mechanical watches and technical watches, smart watches, they are somehow not competing. And they are just different instruments. The mechanical watch is a piece of heritage of 350 years of tradition. A smartwatch is a piece of technology of the moment, not 300 years ago, from now. But tomorrow it will be obsolete. Why? The mechanical watch that has a heritage of 350 years, tomorrow will become eternal. So one is in the eternity and the other one is in the obsolescence. That is why one, the eternity, can cost extremely expensive, and the obsolescence will be cheap. If the Apple Watch would cost $100,000, probably a few people will buy it, but it will be probably less than 1,000. So, and that is for me the reason why I like both. I have also my Apple Watch. You know, I was skiing. I put it on my wrist. There's nothing wrong having this one. So I have
nothing
both.
Wrong at all.
There's nothing wrong.
Absolutely.
The two are different. The two are made for different purposes. This one is a piece of technology, and that's a piece of art. So, and this is something we must understand. There is never.
No, sorry, I was going to say the big statement that you made when you were CEO of Tag Heuer and you launched the connected watch by Tag Heuer. You implemented this idea straight away, and you helped everybody understand that it's two different things. You know, we're giving you a piece of modernity, contemporary technology, but then we will exchange with a piece of eternity, because ultimately this is what we like about horology.
Fabulous. I'm buying this concept again. If it,
Yeah. You agree with yourself, yeah.
It was a great concept. It was a fantastic concept, and it tells everybody there are two. It's the only difficulty or only light problem is that as the connected watches, they retail, let's say, between $200 and $600. It might be possible that at this price level, people might buy rather a connected watch than just a simple battery watch, a quartz watch, that tells you just with two hands what time it is. Yeah. It is possible that at the lower price level, the connected watch might be a big competitor at that price level. But as soon as you go above, there's no competition.
Yeah, because then the quartz will be useless technically when the price will be the same, except for giving longer power reserve, but that will change as well in time with technology. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so did you see the launch of H. Moser of the last Swiss Alp, their model that obviously looks design-wise a little bit obviously like the Apple Watch, but it's the mechanical version of it. Did you see this?
I love it. I love Moser because they are disruptive. Moser is a typical disruptive brand at their level. They are disruptive, and I love them.
I love the fact that they called it the final upgrade because it's the last model that they will launch on this collection. Final upgrade. Really,
it's
really
so
cool.
True, and you can feel in a Moser watch that Moser. The boss Miller, that he has pleasure He has fun.
Yeah.
He's making fun. And so that is a notion that very few brands do have. Most of the brands, you can say, they are serious, they are high quality,
conservative, yeah.
they are very, very precious, etc., etc. A Moser watch is a piece of fun, beside being a piece of high horology. But to have this funny expression, I love it. I really admire and respect a lot Moser.
Yeah. And on that point, you know, as some of the most successful models out there, let's mention the Nautilus, because this has been such a big week last week with the of course the communication of the phasing out of the 5711. So many other brands have found opportunities within the independents, because even when the 5711 was not discontinued, it was impossible to get already. So if you wanted to have, if you wanted to have something in that sports chic kind of, obviously classic style, you'll have to go on brands like Moser, brands like, I don't know, Czapek, brands like even small micro brands like Linde Verdelin as well. So it's, how can I say, opportunities are always there, no? If you are able to take the risks.
Opportunities are always there, always. And the opportunities now for artisan or for small brands, niche brands, the opportunities are bigger than ever. And if I would have to do a brand now, I would rather go into a small niche brand than into a big brand. Yeah. I think we are entering a fantastic 10 or 20 years for all these small niche brands. They will have the best period that they ever had.
Yeah, we agree, because we are seeing that every day, and we're really, really excited. Jean-Claude, in terms of to go back to our main topic, respect in watchmaking, in entrepreneurship, as to be successful, and in life. And I remind everybody that this nice chat between myself and Jean-Claude will be available on our Instagram channel after this live, so don't worry at all. And if you have any questions, additional questions, just send them across to me, because it's impossible to read. There are so many comments going on that it's impossible. There is one here, and we'll try to read them later on. The respect for customers, Jean-Claude, is it there from brands as far as you can see? Do you find that there is a separation between the bigger brands and the smaller brands? What's your take on that? Because watchmaking, we are still walking on a very fine line, because we are proposing very expensive pieces of art that are not really useful except for giving us emotions. So the respect for those that are actually putting the money on the table towards these art pieces should be fundamental. What's your take on this?
Yes, the respect of the customer is the first responsibility of any brand, whatever the brand is. If the brand produces 5 watches a year, or if they produce 5 million watches a year, they should never forget that the customer is the king. And they are just a servant. The CEO of the most prestigious brand has a boss. And who is the boss of, let's say, Thierry Ster? Who is the boss? People say, but he's independent. He is himself the boss. His family is eventually the boss. No. The superior boss is the customer. Because the day the customer says, hey, I don't want any more, what will he do? So the customer is the first guy that you should respect. The second guy you should respect is the product. God damn, the product. The customer is the king. The product is the queen. Now, you have a king, you have a queen. Besides respecting both, you have one mission, additional mission. You must make sure that the king can meet the queen, that they can gather on a social event, on an evening, on a dinner, and that you have prepared your queen to look exciting, to look sexy, to look beautiful, to look to have a lot of desirability. And so the king will meet the queen and he will say, wow, what a wonderful lady. Don't you want to be my queen? And then they marry. That means the customer buys the watch. And then they make children. And then your business is growing.
I love the metaphor. I love the metaphor. But what happens, Jean-Claude, if the queen says to the king that in order to have me, you also have to spend time with these other damigella d'onore, as we would call maids of me. So I'm making an analogy on the fact that sometimes for the client to buy what he really wants, he's asked these days to maybe wait 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, or even to maybe buy some other watches that he doesn't want to be able to be entitled to buy that particular watch.
But But that's not the problem. It has always been like that. The king who just have met the queen and they were sitting next to each other, they will probably not make love the same night. Maybe it will take a month. Maybe they will meet several times. Maybe they will have to wait 6 weeks. Who knows? And before they get married, they will have to wait maybe 2 years, 3 years. So it's exactly the same. The waiting time is the same in life or in my
and nothing to do with respect. So that's not an infringement of respect. Okay, I accept it. I accept it. And Jean-Claude, the most amazing story is like, in our very small world today, we were invited to become members of the Grand Prix de l'Horlogerie as Academy members. So I am really proud. And my first thought was, without my team, this would have never been possible. So I feel I have a lot of respect for my team. And but in life, that is a very underrated concept. No, when everybody wants to be the boss and wants to, to control things within the team, without the team. What is the importance for every serious business organization, the full respect to the team? And I know that in your experience, you went through a lot in this respect.
I always said my biggest success is my team. I had a phenomenal team. The team I had from the beginning at Blancpain, they then commuted to Omega, then they commuted to Hublot, then they commuted to Tag Heuer, and then they commuted to Zenith. Same people, the same team. I have Miat is my designer, and Miat has been with me since 1979. And he is still designing today. Okay, he's number one designer, Philippe Girard, but he works for Miat. So Ricardo Guadalupe, the actual CEO of Hublot, he joined me in 1986 at Blancpain. Jean-Fred Dufour, one of my 3 best friends and CEO of Rolex, he joined me in 96. And he was with me at Blancpain, and then he was with me at Zenith, and then he became CEO of Rolex. So my team has been the reason why I was successful. It has been a major reason of my success is due to my team. And people of my team have always been better than me in their field. It means in marketing, I had a person, she was better than me in marketing. In product development, in purchasing, Ricardo was better than me, etc. So I had people, each one was a boss. Each one was a boss. I have always said my team is the most precious element I have. And in order to keep them, I must make them happy. And to be happy, people need respect. People need that you forgive their mistakes. Because a mistake or a failure is a natural process. That's the natural process of success. Success is built on mistakes. And if you do no mistakes, it means you don't work. It means you sleep, or it means you are dead. So you need to respect, you need to forgive mistakes, and you need to share. The sharing makes rich, not only you who shares, but also the one that gets the sharing. So sharing is a win-win operation. And sharing means I share my success, but it means also I share my doubts. I share my failures. I share my knowledge. I don't keep my knowledge secret just for me. No, I share, I open it. So the day you behave in that way.
This is so true, Jean-Claude, because in all honesty, we had never even met in real life before, and you accepted my invitation to be our guest and to discuss about these very personal topics with us. So I can only witness the fact that even with us, you're just here for the sake of sharing and for the sake of hopefully enjoying this sharing process.
Yes, I had a young guy, entrepreneur. He wrote to me. He said, "You are like a mentor for me. Can I meet you? I am in cosmetic. I make masks, for men. Yeah. I never put a mask on my face. I never took care of my face. I am probably too old for that. But I said, yes, we can meet. He came. Then he said to me, do you want to try the mask? I said, okay. Then I put this mask on. I kept it 10 or 15 minutes. Then he said, can I make a picture of you wearing the mask? I said, of course, why not? Then he said, can I use the picture? I said, of course, I can help. And then a journalist called me and said, I am doing a report on this guy called Wolf. Wolf is the name of the mask of his brand. And I'm making an article about Wolf. And they have sent me a picture of you with the mask. Do you mind if I put it in the newspaper, in the Journal of Geneva? I said, no. Yeah. As long as it helps this young entrepreneur, no problem. Now I had a picture yesterday with a black mask. You see,
I go and have a look.
I am always ready to help, to share. That's also my pleasure, I have pleasure in sharing. Sharing makes me rich. Sharing makes me exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing, and obviously I thank you for that, and I thank also the people that are listening to this interview. Hope you're enjoying. There was a question in respect to what we were discussing before, Jean-Claude. You tell me if you want to answer or not. Because I know you're a keen Patek Philippe collector, of course. We all know about the sell through Philips of your own collection last year, which was really incredibly successful. I've seen this comment popping up a few times on the phasing out of the 5711. What do you think about those people that have been in a waiting list for 5, 6, 7 years, and they are taking away the right to obtain the watch that they were dreaming about? Do you think that's a lack of respect, or do you obviously have a different point of view on this?
We will have the answer to this question very soon. Why? Because we don't know what Patek will be doing. Maybe Patek is phasing it out to put a new phase in. Yeah. And then in the new phase in, the people that were the waiting list of the old phase out will get automatically on the new phase in list. And they will,
Yeah,
as the phase-in will be done in other quantities or in another speed, maybe people, instead of waiting 5 years for the old phase out, they might wait only 2 years and they will have a priority on the new phase-in. Who knows? So before saying, blah, 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 we must listen what Patek is going to do. So I cannot answer it because I don't know what they're going to do. Once they have declared what is the next, then we can start to say, what a pity or great, blah, blah, blah. But before, we can say nothing. Just wait and see.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thanks for the straight answer, because that's, that's on everybody's mouth. In terms of a big element of respect, Jean-Claude, is to be adult enough. And in my small experience as a small entrepreneur, one of the first things I had to understand is to have respect for competitors as well, and actually to see competitors as a bar that is well up there for me, and it has to become my target to go over that bar. So what was your experience in terms of the competition, and what was happening around you in your life and in your professional life?
Competition. I have been skiing, not professional, but I went to the university championships. I loved a lot skiing. And I always believed to win, I need people who are behind me. If I'm the only one in the downhill, I cannot win.
Yeah, I can give you that.
So yes, I need people behind me. When I did the New York Marathon, I finished at the place 2,500. It means 2,499 runners were before me. But
when did
we
you
were
do it?
83.
Okay, so the Blancpain times.
Yes, 83, right. 86, and 1998. I did it 3 times. But I was 2,500 to say. Means I have 2,499 guys that are ahead of me. But we were, at that period, we were 25,000 altogether. It means I had 17,500 guys behind me. So I was the winner of
of a large bunch.
Well, of 2,500. So it's all relative. It means you need competition, because competition puts you being first, second, third, whatever. You also need competition because competition is pushing you. In the last mile in the New York Marathon, I had a guy before me, and he had probably 10 kilo too much. He was like me today, but I was slim. And I said, fuck, this guy with 10 pounds of weight too much, I don't want him to cross the line before me.
Yeah.
I am slim, I train, I want to be. So competition is pushing you. So somehow competition is only positive. And that's why we should respect competition. If you don't respect competition, then you don't respect your job. You don't respect your industry, because we are a club at the end of the day. We all are working for the same. We all try to satisfy the same king. We all try to have the same beautiful queen. So you must respect the club. You must respect others. And that is a difficult thing that people sometimes, when they are very young, which they don't do. But as older they get, the more they realize that competition needs to be respected.
So how did you learn? Because both for a small watchmaker, independent watchmaker, but also for a small entrepreneur, ambition at the beginning is very important, because it gives you the adrenaline to overcome the obstacles, the infinite obstacles, of being successful out there. But I don't see yourself as somebody being satisfied with being the best after the first, so the second, the third, the fourth. How do you find that balance and that harmony to actually understand that as long as you've done your best, your absolute best, you should be satisfied with whatever position you are in the ranking? How does it
You
work,
know,
that element for you?
you must not overestimate yourself. You must know where are your limits. Uh, and the the Kenyan marathon runners that that were that had arrived before I was half marathon, I have no problem. I just admire them, like I
Yeah,
admire Patek, like I admire AP, uh,
yeah,
uh, and I will never try uh, to compete this guy. I will try to take all the inspiration, the good things, uh, and to do my own. And I will
yeah.
not overestimate myself, because if you overestimate yourself or you start to get arrogant, then you are already close to your first big defeat. So you must know where you belong. You must know where can I be positioned? What can I do? And that is also an important thing that when you are young, you forget because your enthusiasm is so big that you think I can achieve it. No, no, no. You must have this respect, the respect of the position of the others.
Very interesting. There is a, you made me think just now of another aspect of respect, which is in creativity. We live in a world in independent watchmaking. I always say there are 7 notes. Everybody's playing with the 7 notes. Very rarely somebody can find the 8 notes, if you like, or note, when they really go crazy with ideas. But in all of this, we are all playing a dangerous game of with the respect of what? Of intellectual property, copyright, and all of that. So being creative without, infringing anybody else's rights. Uh, how do you see it? Because in our industry, this is so true that, if you look from the outside, so many things look superficially the same, even when sometimes they are not. What was always your take on creativity? Crazy for the sake of being crazy, or calculated crazy, or calculated creative, or
It
how did you tackle?
it depends. With Blancpain, we wanted to be the reference for excellency, the reference for understatement, the reference uh, of the watch that people will not recognize. Only the guy who is connoisseur will say, "Wow, he got one! My goodness, it's the first time I see one." And the guy would come to my table at the restaurant and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, are you really wearing a Blancpain watch?" And I was saying, "Yes." And he said, "Can I see it? It's the first time. I have seen some pictures, but I have never seen it in reality." That was the concept of Blancpain. If
Yeah,
this is the concept, you don't want to copy a Nautilus. Because if you copy a Nautilus, everybody will recognize or think it's a Nautilus. So
yeah,
depending where is your what is your message? The message of Blancpain was the ultimate understatement. The ultimate understatement. So at Blancpain, we were working on totally understatement, and we were doing the most discreet, the most sober watch that we could design. When I joined Hublot, at Hublot, we were saying, "Hey, this watch that Mr. Carlo Crocco from Italy, living in Switzerland, designed in 1980, looks like a porthole, but the diameter in 2004 was only 33 millimeter,
yeah,
and the little screws were so small." We said, now we are in a period, 2004, of
yeah,
mature watches, 44 millimeter, 46 millimeter. Then we said, we must blow it up and make a real strong macho watch. And that macho watch, when it came out in 2005, we called it Big Bang. The Big Bang had a similar look of the offshore. But that was not my fault, because in 1980, Mr. Croco designed this very elegant, small porthole watch. And we just said, we blow it up. But by blowing it up, suddenly it looked a little bit like the offshore. So what? Yeah. It's a reblow. We call it Big Bang. So you see, two different periods, two different approaches, because they were two different brands. So it all depends on your brand.
Yeah, yeah.
The brand is the boss. The message of the brand dictates you what to do.
Yeah, because whatever you do, if it doesn't make sense with the message that you want to convey, you better not do it.
You better don't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, I have one man that he died now. I have a few guys that I admire enormously, and one of them is Karl Lagerfeld. Why? Because Karl Lagerfeld has been able, for I don't know exactly, for 30-something years, to design Chanel, and at the same time, 30 years, to design Fendi.
Yeah.
But the Fendi always looked like a Fendi collection.
Yeah.
And the Chanel always looked like a Chanel collection. It means Karl Lagerfeld was able to create for two brands, a collection. Nobody could think 1 second that it was the same guy. Yeah. Because he entered into Fendi and he designed Fendi, and later he entered into Chanel and designed Chanel. And
it was not about him. It was not about him.
It was not about him. It was about the brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
He took the seat and put himself into the brand. Many other guys are so arrogant. They want to have their own signature in the brand, and they are changing the brand, and they are changing the product. Karl Lagerfeld, he just adapted. It's phenomenal what he did.
There is you take me once again to the next topic is then about having respect and understanding history. There was a random comment here saying that tonneau shapes are all copied by Richard Mille, but actually Richard Mille started after Frank Müller, and Frank Müller started after Cartier. Cartier started in the 30s. So history
and Cartier started after Patek. And Cartier started after Patek. Patek was the first.
I see. This I didn't know.
Patek was the first. I have it in my own collection from 1911. Yeah. I show you a 1911 Patek. It looks 100% like a Frank Müller.
See, I'm a Richmond man, so I wanted to give Cartier the.
I love Cartier too, but it's not. And these watches in those days, 1911, were made for Russia. They were made for the Russian market.
Amazing. So history always gives you the answers. So respect for history then gives you much more than just a lesson. It gives you a way to develop things in a certain way or not.
Yes, that's why it's so important to understand vintage.
Yeah.
If you want to understand tomorrow, you must first understand the vintage. You must first understand history before you make history. If you have never understood the history, you are going to repeat history. If you understood history, you can start to make history.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
However, when, and this is the last one because I know it's already been 40 minutes, and thank everybody for being with us. This is great fun, and I hope, Jean-Claude, you enjoyed it as well.
I enjoy it. Am I looking like I enjoy it, or am I looking like I get bored?
And so my last question would be, respect we discovered today is fundamental in all parts of lives. in life, in watchmaking, in entrepreneurship, respect for institutions, respect for history, respect for the team. However, we're going to a phase in history where being strongly creative is going to be heavily recommended to find your place and to be recognized and to be successful. So how, where is the balance between being respectful of what you know, what you've learned, and strongly going against the flow when you need to?
No, to be contrarian has nothing to do with respect. You can respect and be contrarian. But for me, I believe that if you want to have healthy people, you need to have healthy animals, and you need to have healthy nature. In other terms, if you want to respect human beings, you must respect nature and you must respect animals. It's a chain. You cannot say, I don't care about animals. They should be killed as I don't care how they are killed. Or you cannot say, I don't care what we put into the sea.
Yeah.
No, we must care. We are in a kind of a global system, which, like Apple is an ecosystem. iOS, everything is connected. And same for us. We are connected to nature. Nature is connected to sea. The sea is connected to the animals. The animals are connected to the trees. So the whole has to be seen always as a global. And that is a new dimension. We cannot just think about us. We must start to think about the global, where animals are included, where nature is included, where children are included, where women are included, where old people are included. Everybody should be included. That's my dream.
And this is also happening in our industry with some brands, like I've seen recently Linde Wedeling, the Danish watchmaker. They have worked out a fully sustainable development system within them, and they also got certified for that. So it is a sign that companies have now to think about that as well. Jean-Claude, the last thing, what should we not respectful of? What should we not respect?
What pedophilia, pornography, crime cannot be respected. Although we know a lot of crimes are not punished, a lot of boys and girls are mistreated by their own family, sometimes by a sports trainer. And these people very often are not condemned because nobody's talking about. That is something we have to bring more up, to have these people to get punished and to disappear. So that I have zero respect for all these ways of behaving.
Absolutely. And in business, somebody's suggesting complacency. I am an absolute hater of arrogance myself, personally. In business, what's the thing to really stay far away from that you don't respect at all?
Listen, arrogancy will never be successful. With arrogancy, you will hit the wall. Maybe not immediately, maybe after a certain time, maybe after a certain illusion. You have the illusion in the beginning, but at the end of the day, arrogancy will never bring you to success. It will bring you to the illusion of success. It's like a drug. If you take amphetamine as a sports guy, in the beginning, you might have a better performance, but it will not last long. You will be caught one day, and you will be punished. So I really think that arrogancy is the last. It's the worst behavior you can have. You must be humble. Humble with yourself, humble with your people, humble with your competitors. You cannot be arrogant. Arrogant is the worst attitude.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Thank you very much, Jean-Claude. It's nearly 7 in Switzerland. I just remind everybody that this is the second of 8 episodes that we will have together with Jean-Claude. The next one is about curiosity, Jean-Claude. So we'll talk about curiosity, see how we can apply these nice reflections in life, in business, and in general, in watchmaking as well. So Jean-Claude, thank you very much. Have a fantastic night. And
thank you.
I shall see you very soon.
Okay, Pietro. See you soon. Ciao.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Ciao.
Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.